Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary Ashton, and this is TWitWoW in review. I will say it was more of an interesting week somewhat in the world of wrestling. I mean, we got World Title Tournament underway in WWE. We already know what the finals are going to be at Night of Champions. Bloodline storyline has taken another very interesting turn, I will admit, because I don't know what all is going to happen there as far as, again, Night of Champions goes, the night that Roman Reigns will have rung in 1,000 days as undisputed WWE Universal World Heavyweight Champion. And yeah, Stardom, I think, had a very interesting New Blood and 5-4 show, which we were able to cover last night. Seems like the upload rate is starting to go up a bit, much to our delight. And so, yeah, and then AEW exists. So, how are we feeling about this week in the world of wrestling, bud?
AEW existing might have been the worst thing about this week in the world of wrestling because, we had the big twist ending of the cage match on Wednesday night, which, to be fair, apparently people who pay more and more attention to AEW than I do saw coming from a mile away. And realistically, if I would pay more attention to AEW, I probably would have as well, but it's not so much that it was a bad decision. It's more that it's just a decision that I don't understand personally. Like, it's one of those things where it's a common problem in AEW where they foreshadow things and then they pay those things off that they foreshadow, and people are like, oh man, they set this up so and so many weeks ago, and I'm like, oh wow, they really did. So this is like a callback. So wow, they really did the thing. They did a good job with the long-term storytelling. And then it's like, but wait a minute, this is a really bad decision. And it's like it's like the old Jurassic Park quote from Dr. Ian Malcolm. You spent so long worrying about whether you could do something that you never stopped to ask yourself if you should. And
Yes.
yeah, Don Callis in BCC just does not make any sense to me at all.
If you want to know how unplugged I am from everything, folks, I thought that was Christopher Daniels that turned heel at first. And then I was like, oh no, it's the other bald fuck.
Yeah, and I mean, I
So,
guess it
yeah.
might be setting up for Takeshita to also join BCC, but again, I'm like, God, why? It's like, okay, he also bled with BCC, quote unquote, which is like the sign that he's going to be joining them. My question isn't, why is he joining them for storyline reasons? My question is, why is Tony Khan booking him to be a member of that faction? I don't understand the logic behind why Takeshita is what BCC needs, or why BCC is what Takeshita needs. None of that makes sense to me.
Which, if they pull that trigger, I'll be as perplexed as you, because Takeshita is very clearly over with AEW crowds, and, like, I thought they were going to give him a big rub, having him stand shoulder to shoulder with Kenny Omega, the Bucks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if they do the heel turn, I don't know. But before we get deeper into AEW, because God knows I'm just so eager to get into that, I did say that I wanted to open this week's episode talking about Stardom. Stardom continues to really fascinate me and intrigue me with its booking and where it might go. Because, so we saw New Blood most recently. We saw that yesterday. And then we did the 5-4 show at 11 p.m. Anybody that is familiar with Stardom and would like a little bit of English commentary to go with their experience, go check those out. We know the big thing to come out of New Blood is that Rina is the new future Stardom champion, because Oedo Tai has learned how to successfully cheat and not just throw matches away.
Yep.
We also know that Oedo Tai has been on kind of a winning role as of late, particularly, Momo has been very aggressive. She beat Miyu at New Blood. Even teased that, I used to be just like you, but to win, you might have to become just like me. We know from the 5-4 show that we covered that New Eras did retain the tag titles, but Ami's still going to be dealing with Oedo Tai, because now Natsuko and Momo are going to be the next challengers after they beat, again by cheating, God's Eye, which has been an unstoppable faction in the form of Shuri and Konami. And then, because it's all happening, Azumi, after a banger, retains the title against Meisera. Fantastic match. Saki Kashima comes out and says, oh yeah, Naniwa Roulette, that certificate, I never cashed in. The title shot I got was the company going ahead and announcing me without my consent. Azumi-san, can I challenge again? Azumi says, well, that's boring. Go find somebody else. And then you told me that the person she ends up finding is Fukigen, aka We Love Tokyo Sports. Oedo Tai's on the come up, and I feel like you and I should talk about this. Like, I know you and I have been very ambivalent about Natsuko's Oedo Tai, but I will say them actually being effective heels has finally gotten me to give a shit. And to Natsuko, shockingly, to her credit, the promo she cut on Ami and Mirai especially, I thought was a good promo. And Momo, whatever I may feel about Momo, and yes, I do miss Queen's Quest Momo. I miss mentally healthy, in air quotes, Momo,
Yeah.
where I really thought she was going to be close to the red belt and was on this big singles push. She's, in a way, when I look at her build and how she works, she's kind of the closest thing Stardom has to a Stan Hansen to me. Because she'll impose her fucking will on you, and she'll bully you, and I think for where Oedo Tai is going, that works. So I don't want to be the only one talking here. It's a curse, I'm afraid. But I do want to hand it over to you. How do you feel about how they're treating Oedo Tai? Seemingly that they're turning the buns and burners up and things are heating up. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I love that the cheating tactics allowed Rina to win the future title without really helping, or without really hurting, I should say, Ami Shorei's credibility. I love that Natsuko and Momo. What was the team that they beat that was so credible, that was so surprising? Was it Julia and
Shooting
Micah?
and Konami.
Oh, Shooting and Konami. Yeah. So that was shocking. I was super surprised that they won that so quickly, because they won that in like 7 minutes, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
And then immediately challenging for the Goddesses belts. And here's the thing. I don't necessarily expect them to win the Goddesses belts, because I honestly think that they're that Stardom, that Rossi specifically, is using the heat that those two are getting to try and get Mirai more over as a babyface.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't necessarily think you're wrong just in your conception of it. Oh, by the way, before I even continue, I also want to add, Kid and Karma are New Blood tag champs. And Karma I look at as kind of a spiritual member of Oedo Tai. So, Oedo Tai's in a very interesting place. If you're an Oedo Tai fan, which I wouldn't say that I've been for most of this run, but if you have been, you're eating good right now. And you might even be getting ready to eat even better. That remains to be seen. But to get back to what you said, yes. To get back to what you were saying, I don't disagree with how you've conceptualized it. I just think if you're actually on the money there, that Stardom's got its priorities out of whack. Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro. After that Natsuko promo, I'm like, I love Ami, and Mirai's a solid wrestler, but should Natsuko and Momo win?
That's why I'm not ready to fully commit to like, oh, I don't expect them to win at all. It's more of just like I'm not thinking they are definitely. I'm kind of split. Like I'm like 70-30 expecting a retention, but that 30% is still like sufficient. Like I would not be shocked if Natsuko and Momo won, but I'm still leaning retention, because I think that Stardom is just trying to do anything in their power to get Mirai over with the crowd, because of how just completely devoid of character and charisma she is.
Yeah, and like, again, really solid wrestler. Didn't like that she won the Cinderella tournament again. Certainly didn't like that she shared the ring with Sakurai for that distinction.
Dude, honestly, what if they almost pull like a WWE Money in the Bank 2022 with Mirai, have her and Ami lose the Goddesses belts, and then have her immediately use her Cinderella wish to get another shot immediately and win them back.
Oh, God. The Goddesses belts, I've really been liking their lineage as of... Well, actually, no, that's a lie, because 7-Up was awful. I thought I would like them, because Meltier gave me a lot of confidence, but the reign was so short. I don't know. Goddesses belts, they're kind of on the lower tier for me on it. It's actually amazing that, I don't know if you would fight me on this, I think we live in an era currently where the artist belts mean more than the goddesses belts,
I
and it's so
definitely
weird.
do not agree with you, but only because the goddesses belt's lineage is so much more prestigious. Like if you're going by what team that is currently holding the titles is like more difficult to beat, I would agree that the artist champions right now are more difficult to beat than the goddesses champions right now. But I still think that as far as the actual titles go, the goddesses belts at least should be seen as more prestigious and should be booked as more prestigious than the artist titles.
Just to kind of push back just a little bit, the operative word there is should. And I feel like recent booking has shown artist belts have been treated with a bit more respect to me than the goddess belts. Like, it's kind of insane to me because before this, we had fucking Prominence, who won the Triangle Derby, like, as the champions. It's insane. So yeah, like, I can see where you're coming from on the whole, but I would still stand firm in that if you're looking at recent booking, if I'm a Stardom competitor, I'm looking for two friends instead of one. And I'm like, let's go after these artist belts because this shit's fucking fire. Whereas the goddesses, it's like, if they do that, and there's actually a very good chance, you make a very good point. I didn't even bother to consider that as a possibility. I'm like, oh man, this is in the fucking mud. But I will say with Oedo Tai, like, it feels good to have a genuine threat in Stardom because no other faction really feels menacing.
Yeah.
To be honest, after the 5-4 show, which I'm so glad we watched that before in review today, the most menacing individual, and I wish he was here to hear this, I'm of course referring to Kirby, may very well be Micah.
Yes.
Because with how Micah owned Utami in the final moments of that match, and then her promo saying, this is a new Micah, sayonara, it's actually brilliant because she lost her heart when she lost Himeka.
Yeah, dude, I honestly, DDM might be kind of leaning into potentially becoming more of a true heel faction as well. Because, like, Julia literally embraced her inner devil at All Star Grand Queendom. And she, you know, she's perfectly capable of, you know, channeling her inner dickhead as well. But Micah, you know, did the whole like, I'm a new Micah now. That's it. Sayonara, that whole thing. Sakurai's been a heel for well over a month now. I feel like with her whole aristocrat gimmick, and even Tekla, dude. I saw a clip from a press conference recently where she was in Natsupoi face and they were saying "fuck you" at each other.
Yeah. Dude, they're sort of getting a bit more liberal with those F-bombs after what Mina did, which I also want to talk about that too, but yeah, that's wild, dude.
Even Mina, though, she didn't say in English fuck. She said whatever the Japanese word for fuck is, I'm assuming.
Yeah, with her whole
but
fucking
like,
chest.
But like Tekla and Natsupoi were saying fuck you in English at each other on mics at the press conference, in each other's faces.
That's wild, dude. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me dovetail this into a broader question for you then. How do you feel about Stardom booking wise that we may be seeing more commitments to true heel factions?
And especially because like Cosmic Angels feels like they're really leaning heel lately too, with, you know, Tam being so unhinged and Poi being like just so like delusional and calling Mina a traitor and all that shit. And, you know, Ano has always been more heelish in her persona, like on the indies and stuff. Like she's always been like a very like prudish, like elegant, like I'm better than everyone else kind of heel on the indies and stuff. So like, I don't know, man. They might like, as historically Stardom. Here's the thing: before Oedo Tai became a thing, which was in like, I want to say 2015-ish, there were no true heels in Stardom. Like Yoshiko was like the truest heel that Stardom had, but even she got cheered a lot by the crowd and she was over and stuff like that, right? And then like Oedo Tai came along and they were like, oh yeah, we're bad guys, we cheat. And they were like the true heels of the faction. And ever since then, they've pretty much been the only ones. But now it's starting to feel like not only is Oedo Tai, and I even wanted to say, once like the Oedo Tai like combination of like Kagetsu, Natsu, Tam, Hana, Chris Wolf, like once that iteration of Oedo Tai had come around, they had almost completely lost their edge, and their quote unquote cheating was really more just like cheeky antics. Like, oh, they're gonna like spray water in your face. They're gonna do silly stuff that might annoy you or humiliate you, but they're not gonna do anything that's gonna actually actively help them win matches, you know?
Yeah.
And it's only just now that they've gone back to actually using tactics that win them matches because, you know, within the last few years, they've been doing cheating, but they've been doing it in a way that costs themselves matches.
Yeah.
So it's literally only just now. This is the first time in probably 5 years, or at least close to 5 years, that Oedo Tai has actively been trying to cheat to win matches. And probably more than 5 years, honestly. It's wild.
Do you think this is a good step for Stardom to have more like established heel factions?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Because here's the big thing for me. I think the biggest reason why they've always been kind of hesitant to have true heels, much less true heel factions, is because of merch and merch sales. Because you know heels sell less merch in general, but because of these nice big Bushi Road contracts now, the women are less dependent on those merch sales to be able to make a living.
Yeah.
So now, if Bushi Road wants somebody to be a heel and wants them to basically sacrifice however much the merch sales would be that they would be getting if they had stayed babyface, they could just give them a nice big bonus and say, here's your bonus money. Now we want you to be a heel and get over so that you can put over some of these other women and help them get their merch sales.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it makes sense that under this sort of Bushi Road infrastructure, they'd be able to go to a more traditional heel face format.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with you. It's daring for them. Because again, like you said, I feel like for so long you didn't really have like established heels, and then that changed, but then it kind of went back to the status quo. And now it seems like again they're kind of digging their heels of like, no, these are bad people, and we're owning that they're bad people. And then there aren't even really any pure white meat baby faces either. I don't feel like Stars has the cute factor, but we've seen Mayu lately, especially with Jessie. You know, we've kind of noted in those tag matches, bullying the hell out of her, and that's not exactly like kind, heroic behavior. So I don't know. Stardom's in a very interesting place for me on that front, but I am excited for Oedo Tai. I really am. Like it feels good to be excited about, and I hate to say it because I wish Kid still was the leader. But it is excited to be, or it is nice to be excited about Natsuko's Oedo Tai. And just to answer something that that Kirby said, referring to that press conference that you talked about, when he said, and Kyrie looked very uncomfortable too while they were doing the lip bumps, it's because she's an angel, and we should have protected Kyrie better than this. I feel very bad. But yeah, things are popping off for sure, dude. Stardom's like, all right, maybe we're getting ready to see Stardom's Attitude Era. Wouldn't that be something? Like, that'd be fucking wild. But I guess in a way we gotta.
Kirby, your moral compass is broken, bro.
Why is this about the Husky comment?
He said Hazuki is probably the most white meat babyface. Are you kidding me? I love Hazuki with all my heart. I would kill for her, but she is nowhere near a white meat babyface at all.
I feel like Koguma's probably the most white meat of anybody in Stars.
No, dude, Koguma kicks people in the stomach when they accept her.
Then you know what? Kogo then has to be.
Yes,
Kogo.
it's Momo Kogo for sure.
Yeah, but even Kogo though, I've seen her smack hands away like when people are genuinely trying to show sportsmanship. It's like, no, I should have won that match, and it's like, okay, bye, Felicia.
No, you know what? It's Hanan. It's Hanan.
Yes. Oh God, what are they gonna do to her though? Oh God. Oh, well, thank you, Abel. I know it's kind of a tenuous comparison, but I was even going to say that maybe they even kind of foreshadowed wanting a kind of Attitude Era of their own with the showcase shows.
Oh, God. We haven't had one of those in a really long time, and I almost have to wonder if they just decided to nix it, like the concept in general.
They probably did. And to be honest, it's not going to be missed by me. You know, I was never enthused by those shows. See, that's the thing. If you're going to give me attitude in terms of we're keeping the work rate, but we're going to really dig into some of these people just not being good people, I am here for you. If we're talking like, oh, we're going to do more bikini contests and pose downs, I'm like, no.
To be fair, the muscle contest was unironically fun.
I had fun with the first
And the
one, but I
women
wouldn't want them
seemed to
abuse
enjoy it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Hazuki was laughing her ass off that she made the finals of it too.
Yeah, bro, even Javaris said, and I know Javaris can get down with heels. I've seen how he interacts in the chat, but even he said, my cold black heart can't take Hanan being a heel.
Yeah.
Give it time, Javaris. Everyone in Stardom gets corrupted eventually. Kirby said he loves that Stardom are doing more in-ring promos. Yeah, for Sakurai, give somebody else the fucking mic.
Right?
But,
we need pre-match promos back is what we need.
We do, dude. Especially now, if you're going to have more established heel personalities, I want these women, and I've been saying it, give these women more mic time.
Yeah.
Like, pre-match promos, post-match promos. In fact, they should do what New Japan World does. And this is, again, goes back to the issue of Stardom World's infrastructure needing to be updated. Because New Japan World, I know after big events, or even small ones, they'll upload separately backstage comments. I wish they would do the same for Stardom. Like, I want to hear these women talk. I want to hear them on their journeys. But yeah, I'm really loving the company, and I'm loving where it's going, and I'm really curious what the rest of 2023 is going to look like, because I'm sensing something big is coming, man. Because then we've got, you know, Mina challenging Tam, and again, that whole promo where she said in Japanese, "Don't fuck with me," which I popped fucking hard because I'm like, God damn, Mina standing up for herself. But then you've got Utami that may be going through something here, because Kamitani's like, it's frustrating to be losing. And that's not her blaming the group. It's like, we're Queen's Quest. We're better than this. So, yeah, everybody's going through something. Everybody's going through something. I'm just wondering how it's going to shake out. Is there anything Stardom related that you want to dive deeper into, or do we get to the boring stuff now? What do you want to do?
I just looked up Showcase, and the last Showcase was almost 3 full months ago. It was 2/26.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was Showcase Volume 4, and there has not been one since. Meanwhile, New Blood Premium has happened since on 3/25, and we just had New Blood 8, and we're going to get New Blood 9 coming up here on June 2nd as well.
Nice.
So New Blood is thriving, and Showcase might very well just be dead.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that the right horse won.
Right.
All right. God, so we really have to talk about this, huh?
What do we have to talk about?
I don't know, man. Fuck. With WWE, I mean, World Title Tournament got underway, but let's just cut to the chase. We know what the finals are. It's Rollins. It's Allen. It's Saudi Arabia. We're not gonna watch it.
That was really.
Is everybody all right? Okay.
Okay. That was really, really weird. My TV and my Chromecast, both volumes just like kind of coincided, and it turned my TV volume up to like 80 something. That was really fucked up.
I am so sorry that happened to you. Honestly, bro, I had a panic attack almost, because at first I thought that was like your mom screaming or something, and I'm
Thank
like, oh
Christ
shit,
it
what's
wasn't.
wrong?
No, what you were just hearing was Veda Scott's commentary, because I have Queens of Wrestling, I think it's called, or something like that, pulled up on my TV.
Oh, well, I do love me some Veda Scott, but unfortunately this isn't the time, Veda.
It's called Queen of Indies, # Queen of Indies. But it's a live show happening right now, and the reason I have it pulled up is because Maria versus Mio Momono is going to be happening on this show, and I didn't want to miss that, even while we're live.
No, and you shouldn't. Maria, by the way, Maria, so happy for you for stealing from Unagi and knocking her down a peg. Love that for you.
Yeah.
Fucking love Maria.
By the way, yeah. I love that Abel in chat was like, RIP, Stardom and Showcase. You'll be missed. And then in parentheses, by probably me only.
Yeah, Abel's like, I thought it was Ashton's mom too. Like the video if you were glad Ashton's mom is okay. I'll definitely.
Oh, Mom, everyone was worried that the woman shouting was you, and they're all happy that you're okay.
But yeah, look, it's Allen, it's Rollins for the flat world title. But no.
Wait, is it like a meme that the title's flat?
No, it's just me making fun of Allen for being a flat earth. Well, finding things interesting about flat earth.
Wow.
I know, I'm an asshole. But anyway, Rollins.
You know who the real asshole is in that whole situation? Is fucking Danielson for bringing it up publicly.
You know what though? If he wouldn't, we know Orton would have, because Orton had that tweet where he's like, "Oh, you all want to come after me, but Allen's a flat earther. Let's talk about that." It's known in the locker room.
But
It's
would
a thing.
Orton have brought that up if Danielson didn't in the first place? That's my question.
I'm gonna say no, but it's a very tentative no because Randy can be a dick. So
Yeah, but like I almost have to
it's
wonder if the only reason he brought that up is because it was already a publicly known thing by people because of Brian.
yeah. You know what though? I know it makes me the asshole for enabling it, but I'm so glad he did. I have been feasting on that for literally years. So we just think Seth's winning, right?
Yeah, it's probably safe to assume just because like AJ's on SmackDown, and if he wins, he would have to come over to Raw. And if they wanted AJ on Raw, they could have just, drafted him to Raw a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, look, in all sincerity, I love AJ in the ring, and I've even grown to really like him on the mic compared to his TNA days. I do hope he gets one more world title run before he calls it a career, just because I think he's that good, even at this stage of his career. He just performs at a level that's, I'm not going to say above everyone else, because I do think we've been privileged to see a lot of gifted performers this generation, but he does have a lot of room on top of the mountain. But yeah, Rollins, he's in his bag right now. He's doing really well. The crowd is so behind him. I even saw somebody on Facebook, because like sometimes I'll get these weird posts from like wrestling groups, I guess, to entice me to join or some shit. But somebody was talking about Seth's Universal title reign when he was like the King Slayer and all that, and he had that whole like era going, and how, we know the horrible booking with Corbin and the Lesnar feud, which was kind of weirdly written and all that stuff. And they said, like, that flopped, but they really don't feel like this run will flop. And, honestly, I have to agree. I think this world title run is going to be a lot better than his Universal title run. And if it isn't, then I'm going to have some questions that maybe Seth isn't that caliber of performer. Maybe he is just better as a chaser than a champion. But I am curious what kind of reign he'll have. I'm curious, who his big opponent at, say, SummerSlam would be.
Cody.
And how they would, do that. Because dude's really doing well.
Oh, God.
What?
Oh, you must not have heard me. I said Cody.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, probably. But then at Saudi Arabia, which we won't be watching, so we might as well just talk about this all in one neat package. How do you, dude? You know what? Before I even ask you the question, I just have to say, Roman, you have problems and you need to do introspection and you definitely need help. But God, I love that you're not getting it, and I don't know who that makes worse between you and me, because this dude is such a magnificent piece of shit. Like, the abuse on Friday was, oh my God, it was perfect. It was perfect. If it was a restaurant, I would give it a 5-star Yelp review. It was that good. Because he's like telling the Usos how they're a disappointment, and Jimmy, who thinks he's hot shit because he squared up with a cop once, starts laughing, and Roman's like, oh, I didn't know I was here to entertain you now. What, we're doing another commercial? What, is that what this is? And, like, he pie faces Jimmy. Gonna be honest, probably deserved. I looked at it and I'm like, had it coming. And then he looks like he's really about to lay down the law on Jimmy, but Jay gets between them and he says, I'm sorry, because that's what started the whole thing. Was Roman was like, you're gonna apologize to me. You're going to apologize to me because you put my name on this. You said, I'm going to win this for the tribal chief. You didn't apologize to me. Jay cuts in front. Again, I love that Jay is the protective sibling.
Yeah.
Jimmy was talking all this shit. Oh, I ain't a bitch like you. Bitch, why do you think I listen to Roman? It's to protect all of us. Get your shit together, dude. And then Roman, he fucking gears up to announce the tag title rematch. And he's like, wise man. And credit to Heyman, man. Heyman has been eating so well the entire time, everything he's given. He really, down to even taking the microphone, has mastered the idiosyncrasies and the intricacies of being a sycophant. And just, like, buying totally in, even out of overwhelming fear. And he's gearing up the announcement, and he's saying it. And all the while, Jay is talking to Jimmy like, we're going to get him back, right? We're going to get the titles back. And then it said Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and then the cherry on top of the sundae. Because Roman knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Roman knows what he's doing, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's like, oh, we dedicate this match to the greatest tag team of all time. Abba and Sika of the Wild Samoans. And then they leave without the Usos. And I'm just like, I love you. It's folks, I need you. I'm even going to turn off my noise canceller because I want you guys to hear everything of what I'm about to say. You know, from the beginning of this podcast, I have not made it a secret to you people that I am the most emotionally stunted person that I know that I didn't come out of, right? So I am bringing it back. I fucking love douchebags. They're amazing to me. Do you know why? Because I never explained why I love douchebags.
Because they're
I love the
charismatic.
people. They're charismatic, but more than that, see, it goes deeper than that. I have this perverse respect for people that could so easily choose kindness. They genuinely look at it and they're like, no, I'm going the other way. Like, to willfully choose being an asshole is almost breathtaking in its audacity. And the idea that they were already down, they're already breathing pretty badly. And Roman's like, I dedicate this, looks at the Usos, to the Wild Samoans. I love you, sir. I love you. I think this is the payoff to every fucking time I ever said, I fucking love douchebags. This was amazing. I cackled seeing that because I'm like, that's perfect. Now let's get to the actual business and let's be adults in the room. I do love you, Javaris. I love you very much. Let's be adults in the room and let's talk about the serious business. Sammy's going to be able to do this show. Syria and Saudi Arabia have improved relations. There have been political developments. By the way, to the people saying that Sammy is a sellout, so is everybody in that fucking company if they're taking a check. And you know what? At least Sammy only did it when he knew that Syria, a country that he's actively emotionally invested in and has done good shit for, is on good terms with them. So I can understand in this case being a bit flexible under principles. And Kevin is just, he's a company guy. He's eating well, whatever. Just throw the whole goddamn thing away. Really, the biggest hypocrites are Triple H and everybody that continues the deal that are on the business side. You can only put so much on the talent. So they're doing this. My question to you, do they drop the titles or do they find some way to win? How do you see this going down?
I think they drop the titles, honestly. I really do. It's like, it would shock me if they didn't, because why else would Roman put himself and Solo? Because here's the thing. If he and Solo don't get the job done, he all of a sudden has less of a reason to be pissed at Jay and Jimmy, because it's like, oh, well, I guess that Sammy and Kevin weren't as easy to beat as I thought they were. You guys, man, I underestimated them, and I guess I underestimated you too. Sorry, that's not going to happen. They're going to win, and they're going to be like, see, look, Jay and Jimmy, that's how it's done.
Flex the girth of 3 championships. 3 championships.
It's going to be like, man, and you guys really thought that I was going to call you the greatest tag team of all time. Well, I guess that if you were on Friday, we are now, because we just did what you couldn't do.
The only thing that would have popped me harder, because I have just that many issues, would have been if he said, I dedicate this to the greatest tag team of all time, and then looks at him in Solo and says, us, and then left. It honestly would have killed me. I would have died. You would have been doing this show by yourself, maybe with a rotation of special guests while you mourn me simultaneously, because nah, that shit would have taken me out. This dude, how dare Roman Reigns be this good of a heel? Honestly, I'm sorry, AEW. And remember, I used to fuck with this guy until I just saw that he was a one-trick pony. MJF is your best defense. WWE has got Roman Reigns, who's got all these little subtle intricacies to his character and everything else, and all these interpersonal dynamics. And you've just got a guy that his interpersonal dynamics amount to, I succeeded, you didn't, I'm better than you, you suck. When Roman said at the last press conference he did, which I don't know if that was I think that was Mania. I think that was when he beat Cody. When he said, we're not doing fast food. We're doing flaming yacht. The man's not lying, dude. Like, if you would have told me, God, Foster, I wish. If you would have told me that Roman and Solo, at some point in this whole bloodline story, would challenge Sammy and Kevin for the tag titles, I honestly wouldn't have believed you, because I always just had it in my mind Solo would have won a mid-card title,
Yeah.
and Roman obviously be holding down the world title.
Right.
But the idea that Roman's going to take another championship, because unless the Usos somehow cost Roman and Solo this, which I doubt, because I think Jay is so fucking terrified of like fucking over Roman and not being able to protect them anymore that he's not going to want to move an inch, that they're just going to win the titles. How often are they going to get defended? Like, it's insane. Oh man. But like, I love it. But again, you've created such a giant snowball. You've got to pay all this off somehow. So then, like, do the Usos beat Roman and Solo, and that starts the first crap?
Yeah,
Like,
that's the big question, right? That's where things get really complicated.
yeah. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know. And yeah, I'm just seeing now, because I've been so absorbed in this conversation, Javaris and Foster especially have been shouting from the rooftops that, like, yeah, the Usos may very well cost them this. And don't get me wrong, guys, I can see it. I just feel like if they do that, Jay is going to be like, oh no. And, that's going to be bad for them. But yeah, how do you pay that off? And you still got the question of how you pay off Roman's world title reign.
I could see the Usos or one of the Usos costing them the titles, just because that's a way to kind of let Solo and Roman off the hook. Like, they didn't lose because they couldn't beat Sammy and Roman. They lost because the guys that couldn't beat Sammy and Roman kept screwing up and screwed them over again. Like, it stays being the Usos' faults that things keep going wrong.
And here's the thing. Obviously, look, this is abusive stuff. It's the guy, like, look, it's not me if you just did better. It's whatever. And legitimately, in the real world, that is sick, fucked up shit. And fuck anybody that's ever done that to anybody else. However, in the world of wrestling where I turn up and have a good time, I feel bad for Jay. My pity well for Jimmy's starting to run a little fucking dry. Why, out of all the responses you could have had, knowing
Laughter.
the man that you're dealing with, you choose laughter?
Oh, Jimmy.
Like, I put out my disclaimer.
Dude, that's the thing, too, is, like, because of the way that he acted on, I guess it was last night, I almost have to wonder, oh my God, Maria fucking lost. Jesus Christ.
Ew!
Anyway, I mean, I love Miyamoto, she's great, but that's just Maria losing. Anyway, the way that Jimmy reacted almost got me wondering if it would be Jimmy that screws over Roman and Solo, just because he's the more likely one to be, like, impulsive and act out and not care about the implications of what Roman does. And then Jay is so fucking gaslit that I feel like, would be more willing to turn on Jimmy than Jimmy would be to turn on Jay.
Yeah.
Because remember, when Jimmy first showed up, we came close to Jay having to beat him down.
Yeah, we really did, yeah.
That story might have to come full circle if Jimmy screws Roman and Solo. Now, if Jay costs them, I don't know if Jimmy would be willing to just roll with Roman's demands, because the whole story with Jimmy is he's just there to be with Jay.
Yeah.
So if Jay gets ostracized or, excommunicated from the bloodline or beaten down from the bloodline, I feel like Jimmy would come to his defense rather than wanting to stay with Roman and stay under that umbrella.
Yeah, and yeah, Javaris is right, though. Like, I also do agree with people that say, though, that Jimmy, unlike Jay, bought fully into the bloodline, whereas I don't know if Jay ever really did, and, like, that was more trauma response, because he was super quick to super kick Sammy at Rumble.
Well, yeah, because, again, because of Jay, because he is there for his brother. Like, I see it as Jimmy has fully bought into the bloodline because he just wants to go along to get along so that he can stay a healthy, happy tag team with Jay. Jay has bought in as much as he has, or as much as he's needed to, basically, to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Jay is doing it out of survival. Jimmy is doing it out of, like, luxury, almost out of like want. Like he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to bend the knee to Roman. He wouldn't have to if he didn't want to, but he has to if he wants to stay with Jay.
Dude,
Because
the
Jay will
faction,
choose Roman and the bloodline over Jimmy, but Jimmy will choose his brother over his own freedom.
Yeah, that is how it seems to be. Dude, Foster just straight up being like, Jay, you have other friends. Dude, run. Like, yeah, it's Foster, it really is starting to get to that territory of like, we haven't seen Roman be that abusive in a minute, but that kind of adds to the terror, doesn't it?
I mean,
Because
maybe
it's
that
like,
is the story, though. Maybe the story really is, rather than main event Jey Uso taking a world championship off of Roman, which, maybe isn't the most realistic thing. Maybe the story really will just end up being the Usos winning the tag titles back from Roman and Solo as a way to sort of secede from the bloodline.
yeah, yeah, that could be. Oh man, he never beat Jay clean though, and I wish Jay would remember that because maybe that would give him some confidence, as a character. But no, I'm still very into these interpersonal dynamics. I'm very curious how this tag title match will play off, and just kudos to Roman, man, because the mic in his hands these days, it's never a waste. It's always gold. But
Bro,
one last thing
I
to talk
have
about.
to say something before we move on.
Oh, of course. What? What's
There's
up?
the first match after the Maria match here was Billy Stark, so I know you're aware of at least,
Yes.
versus Unagi.
Oh my
Oh
god.
God. Okay. Anyway, back on track.
Yes. So just one more thing, because as it relates to Night of Champions, it does seem like we're gonna do Asuka versus Bianca for the title at Night of Champions.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I feel like a lot of people are saying, "Oh man, Asuka turned heel so that she could win the title." I think Bianca's just gonna retain anyway.
I think she is too, man.
Yeah.
It's funny where Asuka's gotten a point in her career where I love her and I love things that happened to her for her.
Holy shit, Unagi got a lot of streamers.
Damn. Hey, can't deny that her excursions kind of helped her out in her popularity. I bet she moves merch too. But yeah, like I'm just looking at Asuka as like you're probably gonna lose this one.
Yeah.
As if it's a big match, whether it's Bianca, Charlotte, hell, fucking Io or even a Bailey, whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna think that Asuka loses. I just think she's at that stage of her career. She's not beating Bianca. I think Bianca, I'll tell you, she's such an untouchable champion. And we keep saying that she's in her John Cena era, right? Well, how did John Cena lose his first big world title? Money in the Bank cash-in. That's how I see Bianca losing her title. I think the women's winner of Money in the Bank this year is going to be the next women's champion.
Interesting.
Cash
okay,
in
I like that.
Yeah.
Is Money in the Bank the first pay-per-view after this Saudi show?
God, I hope so, because I'm fucking hyped.
Because I don't think we have any WWE pay-per-views in the entire month of June, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because I think Money in the Bank is in the first weekend of July.
Let me look it up. Google away. Let's see. July 1st, yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. Wow.
July fucking 1st.
That's
That's
gonna be paying attention to things sometimes.
I am so fucking proud of your face right now. Holy shit.
Nice.
But yeah, because we've made the John Cena parallels, I think a Money in the Bank cash-in on a weekend Bianca, that's the only way she's losing that title at this point. So yeah. Hoping that Io wins Money in the Bank and that we run that match back. So there we go. But yeah, the misting segment, Bianca, I can't even crap on her selling. I actually kind of enjoyed it. And Asuka is a heel.
Well, no, dude, especially because it was revealed afterwards that Asuka put hot chili pepper stuff in the mist this time. Like,
yeah,
I'd probably act that way too. That's fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's pretty agonizing.
That's downright evil. Asuka is. I mean, if it wasn't obvious that she was a heel for the fact that she came out, interrupted Bianca's celebration, and then misted her for no reason other than just, I can't beat you otherwise. The fact that it was revealed later that she had fucking hot chili pepper sauce in there, it makes it so much worse. That's just straight up evil.
Villains right now, it's so different. So Should be a fun rematch, but Bianca's winning. And again, guys, like I said, I'd look to your Money in the Bank winner as the next potential champion. But even then, we'll see. We'll see how OP Bianca really is very soon. If a SmackDown woman wins Money in the Bank, unless maybe they'll do two Money in the Bank matches for each women's title. But I like if we're doing hard brand splits, if we just keep it to 2 ladder matches, but with interpromotional stuff. You get the briefcase, well, then your brand's champion's in trouble. So I really like that. Or maybe you do keep it to all champions, and then that could be a way that you jump shows if you want to. But either way, yeah, let's just curious how they handle Money in the Bank this year. Beyond Night of Champions, I feel like there was something I did want to talk about WWE related outside of Night of Champions. Oh yeah, the NXT call-ups. We saw Grayson Waller. He's going to be doing a talk show thing.
Yep.
Grayson Waller effect. His first guest is going to be AJ, which I will give WWE credit for this. That is a callback, and that's continuity, because who was one main roster guy that Grayson Waller started beef with?
True.
Fucking AJ. Yeah. So
that was while we were still watching, even, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just before we dropped off. Cameron Grimes beating Corbin, and that was hilarious.
Yes,
dude. Roman Reigns made me pop, as I made painfully clear. This made me pop too, because Cameron laughing as he left the ring was like, "To the moon!" I'm like, "Oh my god, you're literally a cartoon character, and I love it. This is perfect. Oh my god." So that was great. I know he's not gonna win Money in the Bank, but fuck would I love if he did, and I'd be totally cool with him beating Theory. I wish Gunther was on the same show as Cameron, because that's a fucking banger to me right there. But we got Theory, we got the face, so we're gonna have to deal with it. But I am happy that Cameron got a win. I hope they give him mic time. We know in NXT that he could be, and from PWG before that, what an incredible promo this dude can be.
I have to say something to Foster, because Foster just said it's getting to the point where even I'm feeling bad for Corbin. Let's not forget, the last time we started feeling bad for Corbin, he hit the lottery on a fucking slot machine and started being a massive piece of shit all over again. Never feel bad for Corbin. Stay on his throat.
Yeah, and plus, Foster, look, there are some beautiful bald people. Corbin ruins it for everyone else. It's like, look, if you're going to pull off bald like that, either get Rogaine or hide in a corner. I'd say I don't care which, but clearly it's affecting me, so I don't know, pick one.
Wow.
Yeah, that happened. Fuck Baron Corbin. I do love, though, that he has just been feasting off that standing ovation he got in Paris. That when WWE is like, what other places would you like to see have a premium live event? He quote tweeted and he was like, Paris. He wants that pop again. He's addicted to it. He's like, oh my god, this is what it's like to be loved. Yeah, well, maybe suck less and you'd know it more often.
God. Imagine if we made Baron Corbin and Cody Rhodes swap brains for a week.
Oh, God. That's sci-fi horror that even, like, makes me tense up. Jesus.
Cody would die and Corbin might die of happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Brawling Brutes kind of trying to cheer up Sheamus after losing his triple threat match. I feel bad for Sheamus, man. I like Brawling Brutes, and like that dude just hasn't had anything going for him. He was supposed to win the Intercontinental title, and then Drew, right before contract negotiations blew up, was like, listen, if this is the last thing I do in this company, I'm going to shit on your dreams one last time, Sheamus. And he did. But they're like, oh, let's just go get a couple pints, and then Pretty Deadly come up into the frame. Look, I'm going to be real with you all. I watched the video of Pretty Deadly not dying, coming out of the water and just doing CPR, and the whole yes boy, and I like it's great. I haven't and see there goes Abel, yes boy. I haven't watched Pretty Deadly in so long, but I need to catch up on them. I want to catch up on them, so like, yeah, I'm here for this. I'm here for them beating Brawling Brutes next week. I'm here for them very quickly rising up the tag team division. I'm probably going to watch their the YouTube stuff there more, just because when they were on NXT, I just really didn't care about NXT as a whole. But Pretty Deadly seems pretty amazing to me. They might have aligned to my funny bone. I'm thinking that that's happening. And yeah, it was just great seeing them. And yeah, Foster, I too thought, Like, wow, they're dead and they're gonna come back with new gimmicks or something. But no, it's still Pretty Deadly. Which, Foster, I gotta ask you this because you're beautiful and also very reasonable and have good opinions. So I'm curious what your take on the discourse is, because I've seen some people say that Pretty Deadly is like a Breezango ripoff, and I never got that vibe at all. So I'm just wondering if you think it's as absurd as I do. But yeah, even if they were, they're pretty fucking good at it. So I'm looking forward to more Pretty Deadly. As far as the NXT call-ups, what are you kind of anticipating, man? What would you like to see Cameron Grimes doing like the next 6 months? Pretty Deadly. I mean, Grayson Waller, I'm sure we'd both like to just go away, but how do you see it all going for them?
So I do want to say, regarding the whole they're doing the Breezango ripoff thing. From what I understand, Pretty Deadly existed as early as 2015
Yeah.
on UK or European Indies, and Breezango as a team debuted in 2016. So if anyone's doing an impressive anyone, it's the other way around.
Ooh, damn.
But really, I think it's probably fair that they're different enough gimmicks that neither one of them is really doing an impression of either one. They just had kind of similar ideas, and it's like, oh, let's be kind of effeminate tag team together, even though we're both kind of manly men.
Yes.
Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, what was your question to me?
Oh yeah, the NXT call-ups. Like, what are your expectations for them? Like, say within a 6-month time period. I know with Grayson Waller, neither one of us really like him.
Oh,
but even if you're like trying to be realistic, like, how do you see it going?
frankly,
for them?
I hope Grayson Waller is wrestling on a main event in that time.
Yes.
I want Cameron Grimes to win the U.S. title from Theory easily.
Yes.
Who else is there?
Pretty Deadly, at least as far as SmackDown goes.
I like Pretty Deadly, but I don't foresee them winning any tag gold in just 6 months. I think it's going to take them a little while longer for that.
Okay.
So you're really just being featured, getting to show off their personalities, getting to maybe put on some fun matches with whatever tag teams there are on SmackDown. I don't know if there are even that many tag teams on SmackDown other than like the Usos. Like what other tag teams are there on SmackDown? Because I know the New Day got drafted to Raw.
Well, there's Butch and Holland.
Oh Christ! Are there any good like work rate tag teams on SmackDown?
Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. No.
Are the LWO on SmackDown?
LWO, yeah, LWO is on SmackDown.
Okay,
so
maybe we could get some fun matches between Pretty Deadly and fucking what are their names? Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde.
Yeah.
That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun, actually.
Yes, boy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna
maybe get
some
Rey Mysterio Santos Escobar tag team action in there too. That would be fun.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Beyond that, I mean, Becky returned on Raw to confront Trish. I feel bad for Trish, man. I don't feel like people are responding to her heel turn at all.
Why in the blue fuck did WWE think it would be a good idea to give Trish Stratus a borderline full-time run on the main roster in 2023?
I don't know, man.
Like, whose idea was this? Was this their idea, or was she like, I'm getting the itch, can I come back?
Maybe a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I don't know. It's just I feel bad for her because I don't even think the work she's doing is necessarily bad. I just feel like it's not connecting with people. I just, it sucks. It just kind of makes me want to see Becky and Trish get their match out of the way, and then whatever Trish does next, even if it's just like going home, like that's good. You did what you had to do in this run. I also feel bad for Trish on a more meta level because I know she always wanted that match with Mercedes and she just never got it. So
Unagi beat Billy Starks, bro. Holy shit, this show, what the fuck are they smoking?
I don't know. Oh yeah, Foster makes a great point. Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly could be a great feud too.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. That's a feud that like not only would the matches slap, but the segments and like the personality clashing that would happen there could be fun too.
Yeah.
It would have to be written well, though, which is where I'd be concerned because of how poorly WWE writes a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure, bro. So trying to think. So yeah, Becky returned, laid out Trish. World title tournament we already talked about. Oh yeah, LA Knight and Boogs are either gonna feud or maybe be a team because the Profits are facing LA Knight and Boogs next week.
Oh,
what a waste of Boogs!
Oh, why LA Knight? Why not Elias? They had a whole thing.
Bro, and I have to kind of, I shouldn't say blame because that sounds really like arrogant and elitist. But you know, this whole making LA Knight a thing, I don't like it at all. But it seems like there are a lot of fans that want him to be a thing. So like, you and I may very well be in the minority on this one, bro.
LA
Because
Knight
like,
is listed internally as the fifth from top heel on the SmackDown brand behind Roman, Solo, Theory, and Cross.
but yet I feel like he gets babyface reactions from people, at least online and shit. I can't really speak much to crowd reaction, but I know they do the yeah stuff with him. So it's just all confusing to me.
God.
I know, dude. I just,
And you know, I don't even know anymore. Honestly, I really don't.
I feel like you wanted to form a thought. Are you sure you don't want to give it a try?
I had a thought, and then I realized that part of the foundation of said thought was actually just wrong. Because I was going to say something about Dominic Mysterio, but he's on Raw, so fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Boogs is like in-ring stuff has gone beyond what we knew he was doing before his injury, but it's kind of a shame he's stuck here and then Abel just did the yes stuff. Abel, you're the cutest troll ever. I love you. But I really wish that and this is why Cameron Grimes is my number one pick, because I wish Boogs was in a different place that I could seriously consider him. I'd love Boogs as United States champion. That goes together as well as apple pie and a glass of milk, for God's sakes. Like the dude is 80s America in 2023 in the best way. He's fucking shredded and he shreds. I've seen him play the guitar nude while lifting weights. Dude's a freak.
Bro, that fucking shower video that he posted in like last year, I think it was. Jesus Christ, that was
Yeah.
like way too risque for WWE. I can't believe he got away with it.
Yeah, bask in that ass. But yeah, that's seemingly everything relevant with WWE. I mean, obviously Judgment Day is still going strong. Xavier Woods on Twitter cut an amazing promo. So like, New Day is beefing with Judgment Day, and a lot of people are speculating this is going to lead to a Big E return. And you know what though? Not the worst feud for him to come back into. If you wanted to take it slow with Big E and reacclimate him, especially because they look, not to throw dirt on old wounds, but you're working with a competent big man like Damian Priest that is like several fucking levels above Rich Holland.
Yes.
Like if I'm Big E and I saw Damian Priest work with fucking Bad Bunny, I'm like, oh yeah, let me feud with Judgment Day and tear me off
Hell
with
yeah,
Damian.
absolutely.
And by the way, even though he lost his triple threat, also very happy for Damian that he's being considered internally potentially as like an upper mid-card main event level kind of talent. That's really cool for him, and I'm curious if he'll be able to seize the opportunity with that. I'm thinking he will. But yeah, if Big E's return is imminent, I fucking miss the dude immensely at this point. It's gotten a bit worse with each passing month that I think about it. I'm like, oh man, when are we going to see E? And Woods, again, that promo was great, and I really do hope that one day he gets a mid-card title run. I don't believe him necessarily in beating a guy like Gunther, but then again, Ilya Dragunov beat Gunther, so you can sell me on anybody if the writing's there.
To quote Natspoi, blah!
Yeah. Oh, you've been great today, by the way. Your sass in the Discord, I was living for it. It's great.
I saw. It's always good to know when I pop you.
No,
Hell, I was
extensively.
speaking out against one of Kirby's faves, and I even popped his ass.
Yeah. All for the sake of Maria, which has there ever been a better cause to fight for?
Maybe not, honestly. Like Coach Steve said in the GIF I posted, I would literally kill anyone for her.
Dude, she's amazing. But anyway, I'm gonna get too up in my fifis if I talk about Maria for too long. So we've got to regain focus. But so let me ask you, man, because like you always look at things well, but I know, like me, you've also missed Big E, even if you're just like, hey, let him take his time, and you've been thinking about it because I know that Stardom and other stuff. You think this is a good feud for him to come back to? What are you kind of hoping for him?
Oh,
You
dude,
think they'll get him back in the main event scene?
Yeah, if he's coming back for specifically a Damian Priest feud, you're goddamn right. I'm excited for that. If it's for a Dominic Mysterio feud, less excited.
Yeah.
But God knows it would pick up his babyface momentum immediately where it left off.
Dude,
higher.
I don't know if he will, but given that the New Day is on Raw and it's a new world title, I kind of want to see Big E win that too, if we can talk about him being in the running. I want to see him get back to the main event level. So I hope he does. I really hope he does. Big E is such a good dude. And I think with that world title, he can maybe have the reign that he should have had with the WWE title. But one step at a time, he needs to come back first.
Yes. Yes.
So when he does, if we hear that music, which is a fucking banger theme, by the way, kudos to Wale. I will pop. We'll all have a good group cry and hug.
Can we
and,
start a
yeah.
campaign if and when Big E comes back for him to win the world title again, please?
I definitely would. I mean, Abel also makes a great point. He said Big E versus Gunther would slap meat.
Daddy likey.
That was amazing, and I'm so glad I let that play out fully. The only thing where I'm gonna be like the fly in the ointment and be like, well, you know, it's like it'd be an amazing match, but I would want Gunther to win only because Big E's already done his stuff with the Intercontinental title. I want him with that world. Like my dream champions right now are Big E and Nakamura because those two guys deserve a proper world title run. And then in third comes Finn because he's had great NXT title runs. Yes, Phineas. Because he's had great NXT title runs, but nah, he needs a proper main roster world title run. And fuck that Extreme Rules booking bullshit and nothing else. You know.
Roja is on this show.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Holy shit.
You are just living right now. I love that for you. So yeah, that's a thing. I really can't think of anything more to talk about with WWE. So I'm just gonna ask everyone: do we have to talk about AEW? Like, do we really have to? Would it kill us if we didn't?
Can we talk about AEW's ratings and how insecure Maxwell is?
Yes, that we can talk about because I think I can stomach that.
Oh, Hikaru Shida drew better ratings than MJF, and he tweeted about it and then deleted it.
Wait, what did he tweet? Did somebody screen cap it? We need to talk about
no,
this.
No, he just tweeted because I guess somebody said something to him about it. Like someone added him, basically shitting on him for not being able to draw ratings, and he basically said something along the lines of like, "Oh, you can hold this one number over my head if you want, but years of consistency will prove you wrong." And he was just being salty about it, basically.
Well, he is salt of the earth.
Bro, God, you know, I gotta tell you.
Oh, here it comes.
When you know that you don't like someone and then they prove you right. God,
dude,
man.
I can literally hear the superiority in your tone, and it's so
not even superiority; it's satisfaction, man.
I hear that too, though. There is such richness in your tone. There's so much happening at once. It's like, oh, you know that person that you hated? Yeah, they failed. Yes.
It's not even that he failed. It's that like. He's so obviously toxic and insecure, and people are finally starting to catch on. It's like that fucking segment where Charlotte couldn't be an adult and just hand Becky the championship when they were swapping, and everyone started calling her out for it. It was like, oh yeah, this is that good shit.
Amazing.
That's what it's like, because it's like people are like, not only did MJF get outdrawn by a Joshi, which just amazing for the brand, but then he was a salty bitch about it on Twitter and toxic and like, just chef's kiss.
Yeah, you know, dude, first of all, there is so much to unpack here, all of it wonderful. but first off, let's be clear. Hikaru Shida is fucking precious. I'm just gonna jump the gun and I'm gonna say the only extracurricular thing I watched this week was Hey EW, which is one of the best things that shithole company does with RJ City. He had Hikaru Shida on for the latest episode. I love her. I do. I love her.
Bro, I am sorry to interrupt you, but this is fucking insane. I think Chigusa fucking Nagayo is about to wrestle in 2023.
What? But she's like so old. What?
I mean, you're not wrong. She's 58 years old.
no, honey, no.
But yeah, she's about to. It's a 6-woman tag. To be fair, it's not like it's going to be a singles match where she has to wrestle the whole thing. But yeah, she's about to team up with Takumi Iroha, and I think her name was Sandra Moon was her tag partner, to take on a trio. Who one of the women is Nicole Savoy, so that's cool. But I don't remember the other two's names.
Yeah. So yeah, Sheeta's adorable, and I loved her on AEW. It was great. So to know that she outdrew, because women's wrestling is a draw, MJF, it's like, dude, I gotta be honest, and this is a little bit out of left field, but I still think it's in pocket to what we're talking about. I still think like there's too much wrestling content like in North America.
Yeah.
But I honestly would have respected Tony probably considerably more, and I would have given him like a less hard time, maybe even for a month, if this new Collision show was just an all-women show and he really saw like how these women would perform, because there's a demand for women's wrestling. But it's just another show, and it's going to be led by CM Punk, another guy with serious issues. So I'm just like, fuck, like,
bro, okay, yeah. So first of all, news-wise, I've heard that apparently AEW Dark and Dark Elevation are both basically canceled. Like, those are no longer going to be airing anywhere, not on YouTube, not anything, right?
Right.
And second of all, I've heard that Rampage is basically going to be the new Dark/Elevation. So, like, we've been saying for a while now that the quality of Rampage has been going down. Yeah, that's going to get worse somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I also saw, dude, apparently AEW has been running more house shows lately. Would you like to hear a sample card of an AEW house show?
This is the first time that I'm going to tell you kind of no, but also yes. So let's just do it. Let's rip that Band-Aid off together.
Well, there were 3 championship matches on the show, so you can't say that they're not trying. But when you hear the title matches, you might say it anyway.
Okay.
So Hook defended the FTW title against Ethan Page.
Okay.
Christopher Daniels and Sean Spears faced the boys, as in Dalton Castle's boys.
Okay.
Tony Storm faced Billy Starks. That was probably the best match on the entire show.
Believable. Okay.
Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy faced The Firm, which was also probably another really good match because The Firm, it was Big Bill and Lee Moriarty.
Okay.
Powerhouse Hobbs, I'm assuming, squashed Pat Buck.
The what?
Yeah, the agent,
okay.
Pat Buck.
Oh God. Oh, what?
And actually, I lied. There weren't 3 title matches on the show. There were 2. But there was an ROH World Title Proving Ground match. It wasn't for the title. It was a Proving Ground match. Claudio versus Pillman Jr.
I mean, my silence says everything, doesn't it?
And the main event of this house show was FTR defending the AEW World Tag Titles against the Gun Club.
Bro, this is Abel's best promotional plug of all time. He said, like the video if you feel bad for the crowd that paid for that ticket in this economy.
Abel, you're the best.
Abel, I will tell you so right now. If I was in that crowd knowing this economy and what the price of fucking eggs are and bread, I'd be going and being like, give me my fucking money back.
Bro, we need some eggs in this house. We just ate our last 4 eggs last night, and, like, not having any today has me upset.
No! See, this is why, like, I know the concept of this show, and by which I mean TWitWoW and Review. And, like, I know it would be cheaty to, like, not talk about something that happened this week in the world of wrestling, but guys, like, I feel like when we talk about AEW, you know, Ashton, when you've said sometimes, like, when certain things start, but it doesn't even have to be wrestling. It's just certain topics put you in a bad mood.
Yes.
That's AEW for me. That's like 100. Like when we talk about AEW,
it's
I
funny
feel my
because
energy, like,
actually
dipping.
talking about AEW, like, oh, here's what's going on in the company, here's like what the champions are doing, here's what's going to be coming up, does the same thing to me. But shitting on what they're doing wrong puts me in a better mood.
See, and I feel like I enjoy doing it with you and feeding off our chat to a point, but at the same time, it's like, I hate that this is what North American wrestling is, and I hate that it just reminds me that my best salvo of defense is Stardom.
Yeah.
Which is why it scares me when they do stuff like the Cinderella tournament, because I'm side-eyeing Stardom and I'm like, you're not turning on me too, are you? Because like I have abandonment issues right now with wrestling, and New Japan already abandoned me. You can't abandon me, Stardom. You can't abandon me, Star. It's like, just take a breath, dude. Okay, touch some grass. We're gonna give Mina the white, but you good? You good? Okay, yeah. Calm your fucking ass down.
And now they're doing the fucking title unification match on Flashing Champions later this month. Like, god damn it, Stardom. We thought you learned.
And maybe they did. Maybe they did, and they're gonna make Tamantha cry. Maybe they didn't, and they're gonna make me cry. I'm prepared for either one. But
you forgot the nah. It's me nah.
Yeah. Me nah, yeah, as in nah. That shit doesn't work for me.
No, the woman's name. It's me nah. They're gonna make me nah cry by having her lose.
Yeah. Fuck.
Javaris in chat, that is 100% going to a TLD. Which, Javaris, I hope you're right, but my question for you is, what if it doesn't, though?
Yeah, Javaris, this is kind of what I wanted to kind of have a side conversation with you about. I'm gonna need, let's see, multiply by 5, carry the 2. I'm gonna need 30% of that net worth to go towards sabotaging Tamantha. Even if she just mysteriously doesn't make it to the show, wow, that sucks. Guess Mina wins by forfeit. We need to deal with this, Javaris. I'm concerned. But to keep on track, because we don't have a purely Stardom podcast, though that's probably coming one day at the rate that North American wrestling is going, AEW. By the way, love that Jungle Boy tweet that he put out on the fucking tour.
God, yes.
I told Ashton, now see people, this is where I am slowly growing as a person.
Bro,
I wanted to engage.
I think that if you say anything negative to or about any AEW wrestlers, they will literally, like, their fans will literally just assume that you're a WWE ass kisser. Because, like, I did that quote tweet of his, because he did the whole thing like, take a walk, get laid, hit a Canadian destroyer. And I'm like, I literally quote tweeted and I said, you can't help but love it when the babyface the kids are supposed to be able to look up to exposes his own toxic masculinity on Twitter. Jesus fucking Christ, this shit is embarrassing. And some rando who I did a little bit of digging, and they're just very clearly like an AEW like console war stan who hates everyone that is a WWE fan, replied to me. It was the only reply that I got, I believe, to my own, quote tweet. They said, you guys are the ones obsessed with the attention. And I was just like, who exactly does you guys refer to here? Because, like, huh?
Yeah, I hate the climate of professional wrestling culture so much. Like, it's a shame because I'd love to be more a part of it, especially when it comes to Stardom. But there are people that are like, oh, just a lot. That's a nice way to put it. They're just a lot. And Jungle Boy tweeting that, I'm like, dude, every time you do this shit, you say that you're insecure. Which, by the way, speaking of one of the few good things about the show, I'm gonna say right now that I didn't hear it, but I've been hearing good things about it. So I'm curious if you heard it. Let's talk about at least one thing good. Did you hear Christian's promo? Because that's been getting rave reviews.
Dude, yeah, Christian's promo this week was fucking flames.
Dude, if you're saying that, you gotta walk me through this shit. What did he actually know? How long is it? I'm tempted to live react to it. Could we do
I feel like it was pretty long, honestly.
Maybe I should watch it on 2x speed. Like,
I'm really honestly, curious. That might be worth it, because, dude, do you know how Dom gets such nuclear heat just because he's an annoying little shit that doesn't shut the hell up?
Yeah.
Christian got that kind of heat for being a flaming heel.
I'm watching this. Hold on, guys. I need to see this. Because if I'm actually going to discuss it with you, like, I want to be able to see this.
Holy fuck. Like, if we're grading heel promos, it was an easy 4.5 stars, if not 4 3/4.
Jesus. Okay, I'm watching this on 2x speed. It's only like 4:30, so it's not going to be that long. And I'll be sure to live react so that we, fill empty air. So we've got Shivani with the mic here.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to unmute the... Okay, there we go. Wow, Detroit already not even letting him speak. You're the worst city in the country. Amazing. Yes! I'm Christian Cage. That's the most heelish way of saying I'm John Cena recognized I've ever heard. Oh, what's with all these wrestlers in AEW and their daddy issues? Wow, shut the fuck up, Chance.
Dude, I'm telling you, his heat was nuclear.
Dude, amazing. Your father wasn't famous. Nobody cares about him. I'm not gonna waste my breath. I fucking love Christian, dude. Jesus Christ. Oh, talking about Arn Anderson. Holy shit. Damn. Saying Arn threw his son away just so he could hitch his wagon to Wardlow. Wow, if you were a Legends live dog for years and years, I guess that makes you a legend, right? Damn. Detroit kissed my ass. Dude, okay. So again, watching it 2x speed. What we just saw there was a professional wrestler that everybody in that locker room can fucking learn from because they're LARPing being a professional wrestler. This dude fucking gets it, man.
Yep.
Holy shit.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, like, he is putting on a masterclass of how to get heat the right way. And, like, I will admit, he did go for some low-hanging fruit with that promo, but it wasn't only low-hanging fruit, which is all MJF seems to be capable of.
And here's the thing, dude, not to excuse it, because you are right. But I do feel like sometimes some wrestlers can get away with it more than others if they just have a naturally strong charisma, and I always feel like Christian's had that.
Yeah.
So, like, when he makes a dad joke, it's gonna pop me more than if an MJF one was, because there's a way in Christian's delivery, like a sincerity in it, that I'm like, oh shit, that hits.
Yeah.
Whereas like with MJF, it might get like an eye roll from me.
Yeah.
This dude is so fucking comfortable when he talks.
Well, it's
And
also
dude,
a lot to do with the fact that when like Christian's cutting a promo, it feels very like natural and it feels like him talking. Whereas with MJF cutting a promo, not only is he screaming at the top of his fucking lungs into a microphone, but like it feels like he's playing a character.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You shouldn't. If the secret to being a good actor is convincing the audience that you're not acting. And when we know that you're acting, it makes it not as good of a performance. And that's MJF. MJF is a bad actor because we all know that he's fucking acting. We know that he's playing a character, and we shouldn't be able to notice that.
And dude, like, I've got to say too, not to kick this person unnecessarily, because it's like, well, what do they even have to do with it? You saw like one of my favorite moments in that, just so that we can remark on the again the intricacies of cutting a promo and doing well under pressure. When the shut the fuck up chants were like overwhelming and very audible, I feel like a Charlotte would have been like flustered or been like, you know, don't say that to me or whatever. Christian laughs, which is the perfect heel response, but also at the same time it allows you to orient yourself in the next stage of the promo. It's like, okay, this crowd's really ravenous. Let me just let them have this, but in a way that like doesn't show me as bothered, and then I'll continue my promo. That was an effortless fucking promo. That was so like A, B, and C, perfect. And him challenge. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual meat of the promo. How do you feel about him and Wardlow feuding? Because I think this might be the best thing to happen to Wardlow in a minute if they do it right. How do you
agree,
feel?
dude. Actually, yeah, 100%.
Because I feel like working with a veteran of Christian's caliber, and second of all, when Christian fails, we get a matchup that I've wanted for a long time. Fucking
Luchasaurus.
Wardlow versus Luchasaurus.
Yep, exactly.
Perfect feud.
Yep.
Perfect, because you dovetail from that to another thing that has a lot of value. This might be the best booking Wardlow's fucking walked into in a minute, since the MJF feud.
Yep.
Which unfortunately that didn't get as strong a payoff as it could have because of the whole MJF shenanigans of is he getting on the plane, is he not getting on the plane? But man, I know I'm very ageist and very like anti-boomer and like I'm not really for like a lot of veterans in wrestling today. Guys like Christian and Edge though are the exception because they're still competing at a high level. I saw the highlights from the triple threat that Edge had. Should be very proud of how he performed in that. He looked great. And Christian on the he just gets it, man. Like he's not like these guys that are posturing and peacocking, like you said, playing a character. This just sounds like he sounds like he's just that entitled veteran and he just brings it into the ring with him. It's like, yeah, I'm great. I had that kind of career, so I could just do whatever I want. You guys are going to have to deal with it. It's like, it's amazing. And he wears it so well and he wears it so honestly. This was fantastic. I'm so glad that I decided to just watch it on 2x speed just to talk about it. Cause yeah,
also, I got to say too, I love Abel in chat being like, Christian is just tremendous. I'm so glad we've gotten this second run from him when like, you could argue that this is like a 4th or 5th run from him. Because, like, his original run was like Captain Charisma with Tomko in WWE. And then he had an amazing run in TNA. And then he had another great run in WWE with like the whole, one more match, that whole thing, that whole shtick. And then, yeah, like, I would say this is his 4th run, arguably.
Yeah. Really, honestly amazing.
Yeah.
I am, yeah.
And I think you could make an argument that this might be the best mic work he's ever done in his career.
Well, yeah, he's always had a great personality, and he's always been, like, on another level in that way.
Yeah.
I would even argue to a point, because I've enjoyed some Edge promos, but I think if we were to look at the totality, I kind of give the slight edge to Christian on the mic, personally.
Okay, yeah. I can understand why you'd say that for sure.
Yeah, because, like, I don't know. There's always been a certain element to his promos. I mean, even when he's being comedic, like, I was even watching a Raw specifically for Christian's part in the promo. It's so funny we're even talking about this. It's where Triple H had just taken charge, because the week before he did that whole promo on Vince, and he's like, I'm sorry, Dad, and Vince is crying, and everybody's thank you, Vince, all that fuck shit. And then, like, the heels obviously aren't with him. Dolph was U.S. champion at the time. Cody was IC champion. And Christian has his complaints. And Triple H is like, well, you've been such a pain in my ass. I'm going to give you one more match with Sheamus. I'm going to give you one more match with this one tonight. And then he says, oh, and for Raw, I'm going to give you one more match with the WWE champion, John Cena. And Christian just has the douchiest smile on his face. He's like, oh, yeah, it's all coming together. And then he gets the mic and he asks Triple H, is it for the title? Triple H is like, no. And he's like, this is not acceptable. Like, his face immediately sours. He's like, this is not acceptable. This is unacceptable. I'm not going to stand here and take this. I'm out of here. This is completely unacceptable. Like, he's so good. If you need him to be over the top comedic, he's great. If you need him to be, like, a resilient, full of fire babyface, he's great. If you need him to be a more serious and title heel, like I think he's being in AEW, he's great. Dude, and that's the crazy thing, because Christian also has an amazing work rate, especially in his whole body of work. Like, that dude can go. You needed him to go 30 minutes with fucking Angle, Joe, whatever. He's good for it. His matches with Randy Orton, let me tell you something. Randy Orton, and I think Randy knows it too, because I know Randy loves Christian. Those matches he had with Christian were some of the best he'll have in his entire career.
Yep.
Amazing. So, like, this isn't even a case where one guy's really good on the mic to compensate for how shitty he is in the ring, because Christian's great in the ring.
Yep.
Like, I actually kind of feel bad that Edge was always probably going to overshadow him a little bit, because when you really look at Christian on his own merits, dude's an S-tier fucking wrestler to me, because, like, what's he lacking? Like, fuck. So, yeah, even though the TNT title has been booked like shit and is kind of hot potato, if Christian were to win it, I'd have to be the hypocrite and say I can't really hate it, because, like, he's so good. So what else from AEW do you want to talk about, since we got the good stuff?
Is that a real question?
Kind of.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, well, the answer is nothing.
There you go. So wait, if it's nothing, then I can say with extracurricular, I already owned the extracurricular that I did. Have you kept up with your Nitro and stuff?
No,
like
I have not watched any Nitro this week.
Did you watch anything this week that you want to share with us?
No.
Then we can open it up to questions. Right, everybody? We like questions. Ask us questions about this week in the world of wrestling.
Listen here, you little shit. You are gonna ask us questions and you are gonna like it. God damn it.
Damn, even I'm a little intimidated. I mean, kind of aroused, but also very
That's what I
intimidated.
was going for, honestly.
Caster Sales, did you know that Miro is back? I did hear it. Let's see if they use him well, I guess, on this run. Dude's a great promo.
Yeah, I
Great
saw. Oh,
presence.
that was
Yeah.
actually that might be something worth talking about. Both Miro and Thunder Rosa both showed up on Dynamite this week and walked into Tony Khan's office.
If I'm Thunder Rosa, I don't know if they want to turn it as a heel character or what, but I'm actually joining the Outcast because fuck Britt Baker. Um, Britt Baker talking shit on me every fucking chance she gets. Did hear that Miro was back. That's also exciting. Foster asking you, Ashton, what did you think of Level Up this week?
Oh, I mean, it was all right. I didn't really pay super close attention to it. I do like Idris Enofe or Enofe. I don't know exactly how that's pronounced. I like him. I liked. Oh God, what was her WWE name? There was this girl that debuted. Uh, oh fuck. Kalani Jordan was her name. So okay, for context, I had NXT on my television, I believe this week, or it might have been last week. Um, and there was a Chase U segment, right, featuring Thea Hale and some other people were involved. And one of the background characters in this that was like barely even like they didn't even like name her. I just thought she was cute. That's literally all it came down to. I was like, Foster, do you know who this girl is? I think she's cute. And he was like, no. But then Foster, being the absolute angel that he is, did some kind of research or something, or must have just seen her and recognized her, and then posted in the live wrestling discussion channel on Discord yesterday at 7:09 p.m. Wait, is this her? And it was literally her. And it turns out her real name is Leah Mitchell. And I looked her up. She's a former Michigan State gymnast. Gymnast, that's the word. I was looking for, I kept wanting to say acrobat, but that wasn't right. A former Michigan State gymnast. I'm assuming she's like 22, 23 years old or so. And she's a brand new WWE recruit. She just got signed in like February-ish. And she had her debut match on Level Up this week against Wendy Chu.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And she looked really good, really solid for how inexperienced and green she is. She did this, I even popped, she did this one cool move. It was like a tiger feint arm drag. So you know how like a tiger feint kick is like, I'm going to like swing my legs through the ropes and then kick you in the face. She
Yeah.
grabbed Wendy Chu's arm like she was going to arm drag her, went over to the ropes, swung her legs through the ropes, and then arm dragged her afterwards. It was really cool looking.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
like yeah, like the NXT trainees do really innovative stuff because they're all like these athletes and gymnasts and acrobats and stuff like that. But obviously like the main thing with wrestling is like the psychology and the selling and the that's the important stuff. So we'll see how far she comes along. But I think she's cute and she's athletic and she already has a pretty cool move in her arsenal. So I'll be keeping an eye out for her.
Javar's asking me if Tamantha beats Mina, do I want to join him in Tank Fun? I'm more of a litigious person myself, so I'll be seeing Tamantha in court if she ruins my life. Abel, did you guys watch any Impact? Anyone excited about Trinity versus Deanna and or Jordan Grace in the future? I should, Abel. I really should. Just as I've been saying for months now that I should watch AEW just to see AR Fox do his thing. I haven't personally. I know Ashton watched her debut, so I guess that's more of a question for you, Ashton. Do you plan on keeping up with Trinity's Impact run just to see how they use her?
I planned on it, yes. I did not watch Impact this week, though. I think we were live when that show was on, actually. Well, because it's Thursdays from 8 to 10 p.m. And Thursday this week, I'm pretty sure we were reacting to a Stardom show.
Okay. All right.
So
That makes sense.
But yeah, I had planned on checking it out. I will say though, by the way, John, AR Fox I think has basically become an ROH talent. He hasn't wrestled on an AEW, on AEW television, I should say, in over 2 months.
I hope he wins the world title. Honestly, he's that fucking good. I think
Yeah.
really, I've seen ROH can sometimes book shit. You can honestly do a hell of a lot worse than AR Fox as your world champion. A hell of a lot worse. Caster Sales. Don't you think that Don Callis left Kenny to align himself with Punk? We'll have to wait and see. I honestly don't know. Again, I thought it was Christopher Daniels at first, so that shows you how invested I am in Don Callis turning heel on Kenny and doing all that. So I don't know. It could be, and that could lead to Punk and Kenny maybe interacting, but I thought the whole point of Collision was to keep them separated. So I don't know. Super Blue, how do you feel about Duke trying to take over Chase? Well, Foster, you haven't said anything about this. Is Duke trying to like turn heel and take over Chase U? Is he questioning Andre Chase's leadership ability? Because to be fair, Duke is an amazing douchebag. You know, I'll never forget when he was hitting on Indy Hartwell after sucking face with Persia Parada, and she's like, "Oh, we're not that way anymore, Duke." It doesn't have to be. God damn. What a piece of shit. So yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers. If he's trying to take over Chase U, maybe Andre Chase shouldn't be such a pathetic little bitch.
Oh man, why you gotta do things like that, man?
I gotta be me. But yeah, I don't know. Could be an interesting story. In all seriousness, Andre Chase, I still think that he's got like a plucky baby face. Oh my god, I can't believe they put the title on him kind of run either with the NA title or even the world title. So I don't know. Maybe if Duke takes over Chase U, that'll force Andre to look inside himself and to do better stuff. So Foster actually did answer that. So before we get to Javaris' question, let me just look at this real quick. If Duke was going to turn heel, he should have done it months ago. They feel like they're so committed to him being a face, it would just feel weird to me. Chase hasn't been around since he had his match with Braun Breaker. Interesting. Okay, but Javaris' question. Also, if Tamantha wins, does her descent into madness hasten or slow down? Definitely hastens. Because here's the thing. That's just as much responsibility. You're carrying now the 2 top titles. That would accelerate anybody's madness. That's why I'm worried about Roman winning a fucking tag title, because it's like, dude, your megalomania is out of control. So yeah, definitely hastens. Tamantha's not in a good place for us. I'm telling you, we need to have a side meeting about this. She needs to be dealt with. It's becoming a real problem. Any other questions?
Toss out your Q's and we'll respond with our A's.
Oh man, you are in some kind of mood tonight, aren't you? Oh, Javaris, you did watch New Blood. Great. So you saw how unhinged Tamantha was ripping up the replica title of the LARPing Tam Nakano, who was just trying to have fun and have a laugh. And Tam's like, no, we don't do that here. So that's great.
Tam really said, "Fuck you, I hate you, I hope you die." And then after she beat her, she was like, oh, here, shake my hand. You're nice. I like you now.
Who's the real gaslighter here between Roman Reigns and Tamantha? I never want them to meet, ever. Ever.
Oh god, if there was no language barrier, that would be one of the most interesting interactions in wrestling history. Maybe in human history, honestly.
I mean, dude, let's never forget that she orchestrated with Taichi to make Mina cry.
I remember.
Alone.
I bet you that was the beginning of the end for them being in the same faction.
Dude, honestly, that's why when Mina said, again, with her whole fucking chest, with all the magnificence that she possesses as the Wonder of Stardom champion, don't fuck with me. I wanted to stand up and applaud, honestly.
I did.
I'm like,
well, I didn't stand up, but I did applaud.
Yeah, because, like, you had it coming, Tam. You had it coming. So let's see. Let's see if we got any other questions. Okay, so Foster said, ew, Taichi. Foster, if everyone was like you, the world would be perfect. But because we don't have that, we have to accommodate the Taichis, I guess. It's unfortunate.
Fucking Abel's like, anyone else think Roman is just a caring cousin that just wants the best for his family?
Foster shut that shit down so quick, he's like, Abel, nah, that ain't it.
Oh, Abel, you're adorable.
Abel, when can I adopt you for realsies and get you out of Florida? It doesn't deserve you.
Yeah, really. Oh God.
Uh, Florida forfeited its right to Abel forever ago. Um, any other questions, everyone?
Fuck. Why am I yawning?
Why do you've been doing that so much lately? Am I boring you? Is this the end? Uh, it's okay. I understand. Abel said he's ready for a serious segment. Well, Abel, if you're ready, let's do it. High spots, low shots.
Do you remember what Abel's favorite segment used to be when we did it?
30-second hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my ass is nice and cozy, so. Um.
Is it feeling a little cold? Could it use a little warming up?
Yes, but not in this context.
Damn.
Will you go down on my ass? Fucking righteous gemstones. Okay. Low shot, the Usos. I mean,
Easy.
fuck.
Yeah, true. Facts.
Yeah. Who's your low shot?
Let's see. Oh, you know what, actually? Kenny Omega.
Got betrayed by Don Callis.
He got betrayed by his father figure. And not only did he get betrayed by his father figure, but he lost said father figure to his enemy.
Oh, God. He looked up at all that baldness, all of its sheen, and he realized it blinded him to his betrayal.
And then he got smooched on the forehead afterwards. So not only were you betrayed, you were humiliated.
Ew. Alright. High spot for me. I'm just gonna say Rena. Won the Future Stardom title, won it paying tribute to Hana, and she's a part of a faction that apparently now is gonna start heating the fuck up again. So, good shit for Rena. Easy high spot. Who's your high spot?
Oh, high spot. You know what? You didn't take her, so I will. My high spot is going to be Mina because she stood up for herself after retaining the title against the bitch that called her a betrayer.
Yeah.
Traitor.
You know, honestly, I don't know. Hot take, fuck Tamantha. I don't know. It's just kind of how I'm feeling in this house right now. So, yeah, I love it, though.
I swear, bro, the Cosmic Angels doesn't deserve Soliano.
No, hashtag Friano, bro. We've been saying it's been
but every time you say hashtag free Ano, I feel like people are going to misinterpret it as like, oh, she needs to be freed from stardom.
No, we should. Oh, but see, free Ano from Cosmic Angels is too wordy. We'll have to rework the campaign, but yeah. Yeah, Abel, we also do need to work out Club Venus's problems though, because Kirby's eating too well for my liking right now.
Dude, Club Venus's problems can be summed up in 2 words. Mayu Iwatani.
Yeah. Oh my god. Ashton, you're right. No, we've been looking at this all wrong. See, well, no, I shouldn't say that on the live stream. I don't want to give away the plans too much, but I've been focusing my attention on the wrong target. So, Abel, we need to reconvene. I know now what we have to do.
Send in Mariah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, please. Also, make sure to send that fruit basket to Maria because I really do want to recruit her so that DDM can have her. But regardless, oh wow, Super Blue likes Club Venus. Finally, we're on the same page about something. Abel's like, Super Blue, I knew you had great taste. I have always said this. Abel, I fucking love you, dude. Jesus Christ. Okay, we need to get out of here. This has been TWitWoW in Review, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web, today. I'm John. That's my co-worker commentary, Ashton. Be sure to like the videos you file out, guys. Click the bell icon for notifications, subscribe so you don't miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And you can join us again content-wise Tuesday at 10. We'll more than likely be covering the Stardom May 5th show. And that should be very interesting because I know one little thumbnail image I saw was Julia forearming Suzu. So I have to wonder what match that was about. And I'm very excited for that. So, yeah, be sure to join us for that, guys. It'll be great. Again, that's Tuesday at 10 p.m. I would say too, Ashton, because I know we've gone through the schedule a few times. I don't know if you want to wait out and see what Stardom does, but May schedule should almost go up, right, for everybody to consult if they want to. Where do you think we are with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that'll all be good if you guys want to check out Ashton's Twitter. My Twitter is for Q&A questions, to collect that. That'll be happening in June. So, we're just, a lot of stuff's happening, guys. A lot of stuff's popping off. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys again as far as TWitWoW content goes, Tuesday at 10. Monday, I think we'll still be converging on the Discord for games. I do have company coming, so I might be a bit late, but I don't think I'd be completely absent. So if you're a Discord member, it's only $3 a month. You can check out details in our Patreon below. We'll do games during Monday Night Raw and, all that stuff. So yeah, guys, enjoy yourselves, be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in and peace out.